Hey everybody! Welcome to some more Monster Train. Yeah, it's true. I'm going to do some more challenges. Can you believe it? Covenant rank 25. Expert level challenges. We already tried Controlled Chaos. We could have won, but I made a major mistake adding multi-strike on a lifesteal unit. Just honestly, like, whatever I get in the comments for that one was pretty earned. Okay, how about Stewardship? Start with powered up train stewards, but you earn half as much money. Advanced Prototype, you're gonna make me say it. Was that, hold on, you're gonna be mad at this? But I'm like, was that a random pickup? I apologize if this is like your favorite combination. I just want to make sure there was no funny business. It was random, okay, so, you know, it wasn't just trying to get a reroll, although I would like to see as much of the new clans as, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so Advanced Prototype, if you're gonna make me say it, is not that bad. I would stop short maybe of saying that it's good, but I do think it's not that bad. These are both very interesting. I think on Covenant rank 25 we prefer having 40 HP right out the gates. And we're Stygian, right? So, no, we're melting. Okay. We don't have the super melting champ. We don't have drafts. I tend to remove the dregs as quickly as possible. I think we'd rather... I think we would rather... Like, it's tough. Do we have any other reforms built into the deck? We don't. You're endless, so you won't get reformed. That's right, I learned something. I don't know, it's almost like... I think that maybe a harvest trigger is actually better on this. And that's my least favorite melting archetype. So, you know, I'm really like... I'm leaning into the analysis of this one is what I'm trying to say. Because normally I would just take, you know, reform 2 units and pog out that way. But I think it makes the most sense to go harvest build on this one. Because, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. One is when our train stewards die with advanced prototype, we definitely want to bring them back. Another one is... Votivary is endless, so we're gonna get if we wanted to, we could get a Votivary trigger every single turn. We certainly don't dislike that. Entombed Explosive, also, if we get some reforms, it can be dangerous to over-reform it for certain, and we're not gonna get that collector, unfortunately. We are gonna get that collector, but we earn half as much gold anyway. It can be dangerous to bring them back because they don't scale that well, but to bring them back to get some harvest triggers is, like, pretty sweet, I think. So I would say we'd still rather have you die here, I think, and take the hit. The train stewards are going to pog up. I'm just like, we get 10 extra HP. But this is 13 extra HP that comes with 20 damage. Yeah, it would be better if this wasn't our low capacity floor. But I think we want to set it up like this. And then everything else, I'm like, I don't even know. Oh, we should have killed you. Everything else, I'm not even sure if we play it. Like, I think we play these just to get them out of our deck and then have them die before the boss gets up there. But the boss is not going to make it there, and I could have told you that in advance, quite frankly. So, this doesn't seem bad at all so far. With the #1 things we're looking for, and I'm trying to use my analytical brain, even though it's late in the day here. And it's a different style than Fall Guys of gameplay, which is what I've been playing for the rest of today. But what I was going to say is we need some kind of, like, reform trigger. We got a reform trigger. Now we can bring things back and cycle a little faster. Get more harvest triggers is the ideal. I don't really love any of these, quite frankly, so thanks for the 5 gold. Yuck. The other thing that'll help us win this challenge is pogged units. And, like, I mean, there's a lot of pogged units on melting. None of these apply. The thing is, I don't think that Wickless Tycoon really has any benefit here when we're going to get half as much gold. I think we'd be... Although it would be nice to get a little extra gold pogging up, I guess. But so I'd rather have a Paraffin Enforcer. I don't know, maybe. It's a little strange, but... and then I don't know if a large stone is really that good, but... You know, we can... A 3065... Like, is gonna do a lot for us in the early game. You know what? We probably should have large stoned a train steward, to be honest. But this still makes for one pretty pogged up train steward. I don't know. So now I'm like, you could put the Paraffin Enforcer up there, and then like put some... You give spikes. I'm going to leave this one off because we're getting half as much gold anyway. Again, how do you want to spin it? Half as much gold means we should cherish every piece of gold we get, or half as much gold means that, you know, we shouldn't make gold a priority focus. I don't know, there's multiple different ways to sell it, I suppose. I think I actually like this. 2 units would die. That's kind of not what we're looking for, but that's okay. So you're going to move up, and we can definitely kill you next turn, which counts as a harvest. And then we still have this weird kind of like drag floor, but really the theme of that floor is just that that unit exists. That's pretty much it. All right. So we want as many harvest triggers as possible here. Things are going great down here. Again, the more up, that kind of screws us on the harvest trigger, but it's okay. We definitely want the collector to die, so we can do that. Now you're living, which is stinky, but it is what it is. I think we don't play these train stewards yet. I know it's weird, but I don't really want to play them on the floor where we've got the weird burnout synergies. This is a pretty bad setup. Okay, I'm gonna... No, we're gonna wait slightly longer, but yeah, because we want our better train steward. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can we play anything? We could play a dreg there. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is definitely a weird one. We're only doing 39 damage here. I think the secret here. There's a couple of different ways to play this. Hitting you with the 60 damage right off the bat is something. And then I'm like reforming. One of the ones that does 50 damage by itself. I mean, it just adds another 50 by default, right? And then we could also play or another 60, I should say. Let me rephrase. It adds another 50 by default, plus we get the harvest trigger. So I think there's like no way that this does not end up being the best. And then the secondary benefit that we get out of it is that we can still play some more units. You guys are gonna burn out in 2. I would rather just play a train steward behind this guy. I'll be the first to tell you, it's a little goofy up here, but we're definitely finishing the job. That's one way to do it. So some extra burnout cards would help us out. Cards that extend burnout. I actually think that draft is what we're looking for. Well, I know it doesn't extend burnout. Let's get some draw discard to filter through the crap in our deck a little faster. Even though it is technically kind of a dead draw. And we're looking for Legion of Wax or something like... Okay, so Lady of the Reformed is the exact thing that we want as well. Because Lady of the Reformed is going to allow us to have a full burnout floor now. And with a draft that we keep rezzing if we want to. For removal, the dregs are trash, but the lances are trash too. That's duplicate! Covenant 26, baby! Petrified Skull is disgustingly good. And while we're doing challenges, we're not trying to gold every card in the game or whatever, right? So that was a misplay. You apply Sap 1 on friendly units. It's pretty bad, because we have multi-strike weak units. Yeah. And Dazed on Strike doesn't bother me too much. So we definitely want you guys to die. I'm just trying to see the... We probably want to put you on floor 2, is my guess. And then this doesn't really change things. I'm like, how much damage did you do? 20? This is our low cap floor. So I think we gotta set it up like this. And it's weird having her be the tank, but... It's a good setup. It softens these guys up. They come up a floor, we're looking great. You're taking 12 damage, we literally don't care. Everybody's dying here, which is wonderful news. We can't fit anything else on this floor, which means we will not be playing drafts there. That's an important piece of intelligence. So you're hit, explode, hit. You're hitting us. We could stop that. This floor is whatever. So we like getting that out there. Honestly, if you're gonna die too, we love that. That's free HP. And a good restore or reform target. We probably do want to summon drafts. So we'll use that just to get an extra kill up here, which I think is super nice. Now, we might need to reform this this frontline lady. There's not really much we can do to stop her death here. But we know that we like Votivary. Now we got 1 kill. The only question, hold on, because we only need to do 1 more hit. I think you just summon another Dreg. And then I'm very tempted to play another Train Steward up at the top, but I think we're kind of saving that for drafts. I know it's it seems like a waste of energy, and it's really like in no way is it not. So we can't play this yet. We saved that so we can play it later. Are we dazed, or we're gonna be dazed? Okay. So we definitely want Votivary, which is at least gonna minimize our HP loss. You guys are gonna speed 1 floor up. You're gonna hit. Whatever, you're gonna be dazed, so we don't really care. We're happy with this. We'll kill 3 of these guys. That way we only have to deal with 3 units on the next floor. You know, what are you supposed to do? It is what it is. I think that was an acceptable play. You're gonna be dazed again, which is bad news, but just trying to see what we can get out in front of here. You're gonna do a lot of damage, so we love to see that. We love to see that. Gonna be honest, I think the time has come for something like that. I don't really want to put a draft up here. I don't think there's really a good reason to. There's no place for a train. You know what? We could put a draft here, or a drag here, I should say. If we ever draw our reform, we'll be happy. So our Pyre is gonna take some damage. I don't want to say there's nothing we could have done about it, but it was a weird situation for sure. So she's taken 229. I mean, Entombed Explosive is always doing something. We can't fit the Lady of the Reform to begin with. And we'd rather have Entombed Explosive than, like, Votivary. There's 289 coming out now. Votivary, if we could play it and, like, kill it, we'd be stoked. Honestly, there's nothing really stopping us from playing it there. I know it seems maybe not that great, and in some ways you would be correct, but in some other ways, we have no control over that whatsoever, so... So Burnout 2, Entombed Explosive with Burnout 1. I guess we'll put you up here with Burnout 4, but it's not great, because I think, you know, it's not going to buy us too much time. It's really, like, this second floor is of the utmost importance right now. And I think we actually did really well there. And we're killing you on this floor, so nothing to sweat. Except for the fact that I'll tell you right out the gates that I feel like this is a bit of a, not a fluke, but, I mean, the game gets harder from this point onward. So... this is important. Your rare is very important here. I think a Frozen Ice and Pyre could be quite helpful, but I think it tends to not be that good. Harness the Titan is not that... I hate to skip it, dude. So it's 22 damage 3 times. I just don't see it right now. This is big, though. So Big Sludge is probably what we're looking for. Lodestone is amazing, but we need more damage, and we don't cast that many spells right now. So I think we need a Pog unit, and we need capacity, quite frankly. So every time a unit dies, Big Sludge gets, on its floor, Big Sludge gets 5 Rage. We need this removal desperately. I think the Dregs are okay. Let's remove these 2 Lances for now. That's going to be like priority number 1. Then Big Sludge, I'm just trying to think what we want you to have. 10, 30. I feel like more HP is really great for you, because you're gonna get a lot of life. 60 for a reroll doesn't leave us that many options. I'd rather take the guarantee and get some Frozen Lances out of here. And then, like, you could make a draft a little stronger, like live a little longer. But do we want a draft to live longer, or do we want, like, a holdover molded? And will we be able to afford a holdover molded if we get it? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. So I think we're going to stall. I think we're going to stall then. Alright, we need this. Harvest makes you even better. Or, on Resolve, 2 random units get reformed. Still a lot of temptation here. But I think we're going to go for the heavy harvest, and we're going to try to put Big Sludge and our champion on the same floor. The problem is we need to put Big Sludge and our champion on the same floor. We don't want to make harvest harder here. If we're going to put them on the same floor, we definitely still need some space for harvest, although they will kill some units. So this is a big floor. This is, I think, where we want you. And then if you could die, that's worth something. And then I'm like, so big sludge will be here. That's our low cap floor. This is our high cap floor. We're going to try to get our burnout stuff going here. You'll just be there. Alright, so you guys get a little stronger time over time. We are getting the collector. Big sludge, non-negotiable. Has to come out because he's got more HP. He's playing the tank for the time being. Nobody's dying on this floor. That's bad news. We want you to be here. And we're not playing anything else. It's a bad start, for sure. Okay, we're still getting nothing here. We want to get... Oh, we didn't get what we were looking for, I'll tell you that much. We dumped this. We know we like Entombed Explosive up at the front. All of a sudden, we're building a little something here. So, you now will keep this draft alive, which is wonderful news. And you're not going to die, and you're going to get a kill. So we're stopping the bleeding up here. Although, you will hit our pyre for 11. 22, actually. Okay, big sludge all of a sudden is doing some serious damage. I gotta be honest with you, it's a pretty tempting situation to just throw down this crypt builder right off the bat and be like, we're done. Because it'll keep the pogs flowing here. Doesn't quite get that second kill, but keeps our units at the bottom going. Alright, so how's the top doing? Just fine. You definitely just like Votivary there. That's kind of a gimme. You're doing great up here. We can't really do much for you. I think you do put the Entombed Explosive down in front. I mean, we might as well put a second Train Steward up here, too. Alright. So we put the Entombed Explosive down there. It's a good harvest trigger. Now our champ actually has somebody protecting them. And oh my god, I can't believe it. We're actually making it through the first wave. Or we're getting the kill on the first wave. Not to mention, on top of all that, our champ is looking fantastic. They're not even taking any damage over the course of this. All of a sudden, feeling a little bit better about our chances, although our pyre did take 22 damage. And also, we didn't have the trial on, but ignoring that. Remove all debuff effects from friendly units and all buff effects from enemy units. You know what? You've been asking for it, now's the time. I understand that this could hit our crypt offerings. I think we have revenge triggers, and we also want units to die, including our own, so we tend not to want to daze units. Oh my god, but dude, okay. Hope for peace. Spells with Purge have Consume instead. This is so good, because if we play it on the bottom floor, it's always going to be a Harvest trigger. So we want it to have non-consume. Well, this is the way we're going to take, by the way. We probably couldn't afford it in the first place. So let's leave for a second here. I gotta think. Let's see what the Concealed Caverns give us. I'm feeling okay. I will give you some pyre health. I'll give you some pyre health. Tomb units get plus 30 and burnout 1. Plus 30 HP? I'm like, hold on. We don't want our units to have plus 30 HP. We actually, like, these are the only 2 tomb units that we have, I think. What about Big Sludge? How you doing, Big Sludge? Wickless. Yeah, I think we're actually way better off skipping it, even though it seems like... Oh, but they have Burnout 1. Okay, you know what? Although, no, when they extinguish, it'll still use. Okay. So were it not for the Burnout, we would be very disappointed here, because we actually don't want our Entombed Explosives to be tanks. Until Relentless, in which case they're actually not so bad, but we want them to be 1 HP, so they're fragile and we can get easier harvest triggers. But they'll take a bunch of hits, then extinguish, get the harvest trigger, and also do the 50 damage nonetheless. So that's Pog City. I think we should make a Crypt Builder slightly cheaper, and then we're just kind of out. I don't really want to spend on a Crypt Builder, or on a Frozen Lance for that matter, with money so tight. But I feel way stronger about our opportunities here. You know, I'm gonna coast this one in for now. I'm gonna coast this one. We really only have one floor that I like. 4 and 2. I think we'd start here no matter what. And we're looking for Crypt Builder, but you're a sweeper. You've been sweeping low and high. I still think we want you on the bottom floor. is you're going to take a nasty hit, but this is going to buffer that somewhat. And then this is our low cap floor. I think we still want to have this kind of setup up at the top. So we're only getting like one harvest trigger here, but so be it. We know we got big sludge. So we're gonna play big sludge as non-optional. We're gonna play this, and we're gonna hope that it hits you. Oh, we choose. Yeah, we're definitely going to hit you with it. So there's one harvest, and then now we got a second one, which is awesome. And then who died? A draft died. So we actually... Oh, no, a dreg, sorry. So we love a draft up here. It is getting burnt out, though. That's okay. It's getting burnt out because nobody's hidden. Probably wouldn't have played that for one. Would have put a train steward down instead, but... Okay, big sludge is starting to pop off. I would definitely say that a crypt builder seems to do some serious work here. I don't really mind both of these guys making it. Like, 40... It is what it is, you know? I think we gotta... This is the most important floor for us. So there's a little harvest trigger, which we love to see. Can't get too much else out of it, but you know what? There's a little harvest trigger as well. Now, you do have a slay trigger, but... We're choosing not to concern ourselves with that little fact right now. So you're going to be at 38. I think we have to let you go, so we're going to put a train steward up a floor. Definitely not as easy as a lot of our recent runs, but we're doing okay. We got, I mean, I'm not going to say that like we're okay with losing pyre health, but so be it, right? Kind of is what it is. 31, 6-9, just going to extinguish. I'm like, do you want Votavary or Entombed Explosive? I think you want Entombed Explosive. At least we're getting... two harvest triggers instead of 0. We want Votavary up at the front. I don't mind putting a drag here just to buffer us for the next turn. Votavary is going to trigger the rage, but at the same time it is going to give us draw as well, so I think we're happy with it. You guys are done. You're done. You don't do anything. It's great news. So I'm like, do we want to remove your debuffs and remove your buffs here? We love this. We might as well try it. So it doesn't remove burnout, but it did at least remove the rage triggers that you had. Not that that's really that good. And we'll put another train steward up here. That floor is no slouch. It's not amazing, but it's no slouch. Alright, so I think we should be... You do have sweep, which is really not great for us here, but... we love the Votavary. You don't have a slay trigger. So, okay, so we're getting real close. Free Crypt Builder is extremely good eats. Now you're taking less damage. For reasons. Oh, do you get like a... Oh, because you got lifesteal? I guess it just... Okay, because you're starting low, your lifesteal is gonna... I see how it is. I see how it is. Can't play any other units. Whatever. Oh, did the lady burn out? Dude, that's terrible news. But we could... I mean, we're still doing pretty well. But also, we could just get molded, which we absolutely did. Dude, that would have been, I'm realizing now, an amazing turn to have resin removal. We need to bring back someone with burnout so they don't die immediately. Resin removal to remove the lifesteal would have been Pog City, dude. So here, it should do nothing. So we don't need to play anything at all. Alright, so, I mean, say it with me. Pyre health would be of the utmost importance. As would removing Consume from purging a unit. Consume cards in hand and a draft. No. But stealth, like, here's the thing. I know that stealth is not that good for our revenge floor, but I think it's good for everything else. Like, it's really good for our bottom floor. Because we just play around it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we are going to come this way. We want the pyre health. We want to remove Consume. Can't really afford that one. We don't mind losing a Frozen Lance thusly. We don't mind making our... You know what? I think out of all these, I'd rather make Engulfed in Smoke cheaper because we're going to play it constantly. And then the Relic. This is really tough because normally it would be Memorial Fund easily, but I actually think we want the Banner because it opens us up. I know this is spooky. First off, we're only going to gain 2.5, I think, whenever a unit dies. Instead of 5, if I'm reading the game properly. But secondly, this opens us up to not have to take energy here, which allows us to take more capacity, or draw, but probably capacity. And we could make some very good stuff happen there as a result. So this is a big one. Definitely want you out here. Definitely want you up here. Free energy. We're going to kill you. All of a sudden, we're getting a kill. Which is a good harvest trigger. You're going to continue to make our deck worse. There's not much we can do about it. And we're going to apply stealth too, so we don't even take that 9 damage at the front. Okay. Big Sludge. I mean, you know how it goes. You need Big Sludge out here. He's still going to tank it up. I know it seems backwards, but we're going to keep this in our deck so we can get rid of it. I think I'd rather have a Train Steward here to start working on this. And then the drag, you definitely want it. We can't put it down here. It's harvest triggers are going to be a little harder to come by here. We're going to have to do it ourselves. We still have space for the lady on this one, so we're okay with that. I mean, we know how this goes. A lot of trash in this deck, but it is what it is. There you go. You're going to make it to our Pyre. You're going to do 1 damage. You must be very proud of yourself. Not much we can do here and no harvest triggers. I will tell you, you absolutely do not love to see it. That is a hate to see, but we are going to clear out the middle floor so that we can take care of those units a little faster in the future. All right. Less trash. All right, that's still a staggering amount of trash. We got a real problem here. No harvest triggers is sending us to the gulag. We have no space for any units, which sucks because we'd love to play both of them, really. We'll play this, we'll play this. You're not dying regardless. I'm just saying, if I hit you, you'll go down to 28. 1, 2, boom. I think by playing this, we'll get the other units killed, which is important. But yeah, Big Sludge is in a lot of trouble here because we have no extra space on the bottom, and we're not actually getting, like... I mean, we're literally getting, like, no harvest triggers at all. Which is insanely not good. And even like a Crypt Builder is like a spicy play, but it doesn't get the kill. But we can always reform you. It's pretty nasty, but we can reform you. We only get 1 though. So I'm like, we can't remove any negatives. There's no negatives. By the way, it might sound like a train is in my house. I promise you it's not a train. It's merely a rice cooker pulling into town. Okay, there's the energy you're looking for. We definitely want to play that. Resin removal, it might get rid of this, but I think we're kind of better off just doing that, and then if we take the 3 damage, we take the 3 damage. Our deck is getting countered pretty hard here, but this is what we want. We want a challenge. You are going to die here. This is a bad turn to draw Molded, for sure. But it is what it is. We can only really bring back a 1 capacity unit. We can only really shove you there. There's no space for anything else. Okay, it's alright. Another piece of trash added to the deck. Sludge is dead. Long live Sludge. We'd like to draw Molded very soon upon our reshuffling, if possible. If we can't get Big Sludge, we get a Train Steward going up here. It's pretty tempting to get an Entombed Explosive going here as well, but I think we really need as many harvest triggers as possible in order to pog City on this one. So we're going to take 5. That was the right way to play it, so we take 5 instead of 6, and we remove 2 cards from our deck. This will be mighty close. So we want, we needed like a Molded or something, and obviously didn't get it. You guys, you're not going to do much damage. So I think survival-wise, we're not in that bad of a spot. We like that. We like this. You're taking 336. This floor is going to be potentially worth an awful lot to us. Can't fit another Train Steward anywhere. So be it. So we want to bring the Lady of the Reformed back to life if possible. I would say I'm pessimistic right now. We will summon 2 units, as you would expect. We're going to put them here. I appreciate the energy. At least we got to hit you a little. We're going to get extra draw. Got to find a way to put 1,000 damage out this turn. We're doing 100 right now. So there's some easy plays. We know we want Molded to bring back the Lady. It can't be Big Sludge. It has to be the Lady. Because they need to have Burnout more than 1. Yeah. So we'll bring her back. She's actually going to live a little. We can't summon a second unit, unfortunately, but that's 397. I'm like, okay, what about removing her debuff? We can't summon any other units. Okay, we want to get rid of that. We're moving the needle slightly. I don't think resin removal does anything, but there's only two ways to play. You play this, and then you play resin removal. And it removed the dazed. So we're still super dead. However, we played it pretty well, I think. And you know what? Covenant rank 25 is no joke. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. We'll keep working on these for a bit, as long as you keep liking them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. See ya!